All right, next video, George. Islam chop hands off thieves to stop crime? Question mark. Should we chop people's hands off to stop crime? So again, I don't like theoretical discussions. It's got to be about how do we improve happiness for people. And you might be wondering, how could chopping people's hands off improve happiness? In short, it creates a safer and more progressive society. It's a short reason for the discussion, but here are my 3 points. Okay, first of all, there's something that has to be done before we can even implement this law, it's, which is give people their basic needs. Okay, so in Islam, you have to remove economic slavery first of all, because people might have a genuine reason, like, oh, I'm stealing because I need bread or something to survive, to feed my kids, whatever, right? Then you can't chop people's hands off. That's completely wrong, right? So in Islam, there are basic requirements that you have to give to all the people, okay, which is you have to give them food, uh, clothes, shelter. I think there's water as well, right? There's four things. So basically, all your basic needs are met. So there's no reason why you should. There's no good reason except for greed, basically. Okay, that you should do it. Any thoughts about that, first of all?
I didn't know about the basic needs part, but yeah, I agree. Like, I'm a strong believer that every single human deserves those basic needs that you just highlighted. Um, and that, you know, that is an essential thing that all humanity should strive for. But it's a shame because we have the technology and the wealth right now to give that to every single individual in the world, but we don't. And the reason is that keyword you said, greed.
Yeah, it's just a few people stealing all the money basically, and just making it difficult for everybody else. But anyway, so now this is the main point, which is the whole point of this hand chopping idea is that it's to protect, right? It's you save, but if you're saving criminals, you're punishing the innocent. That's the basic idea. So in these places where they have these tough laws, and I think the laws by themselves are not good enough actually, because there is something else I'm going to mention next after this, but I'll do this first. Is that basically people don't commit crimes when these laws are in place. You can see that in all the Arab countries where they have these tough laws, they don't do that. And even in Islamic times, when it was implemented at the time Prophet Muhammad, it basically was never actually used. Not sorry, that's an extreme. It was hardly ever used. And the reason it's hardly ever used, for not the third point I'm going to make, but that it, one very big reason is that people don't want to lose their hands. It's like so scary. But what we have at the moment is the exact opposite. Like, you commit murder, right? I was talking to a neighbor just the other day, 2 days ago. Like somebody ran after her son and stabbed him, and doesn't even know the son, right? This guy is just murderous, right? And he got like a few years in prison. Get back out, right? Like, it's the opposite, okay? So the reason why this is because we have we're too obsessed with freedom to do anything you want. That's part of it. But also we go too much with feelings, and we don't understand responsibility, which is a harder feeling understanding. Like, oh, that's so bad, like you might, chopping somebody's hands up, but you don't balance it with like having a beautiful society. Like, one of the things I love about the Arab countries, partly because they're religious, but that's my third point. I'm trying to leave alone. But when they know you don't mess with the law, right? They know you don't mess with the law, and then the result is you go out at night. I don't know if you had this in Lebanon. I had this in Jordan when I lived there, right? You just go out at night, and 12 o'clock, the grandmother's there, the kids are all playing with strange other kids, right? And you're out just chilling out, and you're not worried. That's the result of safety, and that's what I mean by progressive society. It's just that's a rubbish word, because I'm not. I think that that word is misused as well, right? Okay, because I think progressive means you can just be homosexual or something nowadays, which is sad. Um, Basically, what I mean by progressive, or maybe happy or family orientated society, is that people just feel relaxed. You can actually enjoy yourself. You don't have to be scared. You know what I mean? Have a good time. And then it just grows from there. Families grow. Other things happen when families start growing, communities grow, and people feel safer and connected. Anyway, that's my thing. Protect. Protect the innocent. You get a better society, happier society. Any thoughts about that?
I think I disagree with the hand shopping for a number of reasons, right? The first one is, and even me right now as an innocent person being put in mental health hospital when that doesn't need to happen, the law gets things wrong. So inevitably, you're going to end up chopping the hand of an innocent person. And the thing is, that's an irreversible act. Once you've done it, that's it. You've taken something away from someone who could have been innocent. And if we find out years later that he was innocent, you can't be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Here's your arm back." That's gone, right? The second thing is, I think there's a better way. I disagree with the UK system. It's terrible. Where you just lock them up. Most of the time, they don't even get locked up, which I think they should. Like if you mugged someone on the streets and done or broken into someone's house, you've terrorized them to such an extent. Like there should not be any like easy slap on the wrist or community order or something. No, they should definitely do some serious time for that. But I'm not going to gain anything. Let's say some thief knocks me over, rips off my gold cross and steals it. I've now just been left in a debt. And then the UK's thing is, oh, don't worry, we'll lock him up and put him in jail. What does that benefit me? I've just lost out on something, and that's not going to make my life any better. What I think should happen is they should be sent to hard labor camps where they work for free, but the company pays them like minimum wage or even something less than minimum, whatever. And then that money goes to compensate me, where I get back the amount lost plus some compensation for the emotional damage. And they also have to compensate the society. So with their time, some of that money's gone back into the tax system, so that the time it took the police to capture them and the court, and they can work off their debt. And that way, everyone wins. Society wins because they've benefited from his hard labor. I win because I've been fully compensated. And hopefully he wins because he learns the importance of hard work and labor. In like actually just working can help someone realize that work is the way, right? By forcing them to do something, taking action. And that way everybody's a winner, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I'm really, you keep making really fantastic points. I'm so glad because I feel like I kept on missing points I was supposed to make. The big point I was supposed to make was, yeah, you can always get the law wrong, right? Okay, and then you said it's irreversible. Okay, so this is what I think about this. First of all, every punishment is in some way irreversible. You put somebody in prison, you're not going to get that time back, right? Okay, it could have all sorts of psychological effects and whatever, right? So, but the reality is we're all about, sorry, we're Muslims are all about the cost benefit, especially towards the greater benefit of society. And as I said, when these laws are put in place, it hardly ever has to be enacted because people are so scared, right? And then, to what extent is it going to happen by accident that you are wrongly convicted? Like, I've never been in trouble for some. Nobody's ever asked me, or sorry, what's the word? I don't know. Said that I was stealing, right? It just doesn't. Unless you're the kind of guy in the wrong time, the wrong place, a lot of play. You're not going to have that situation. It's very, very unlikely. So everything's a probability, okay? And I know it seems harsh for the sort of maybe the snowflakes is the term, right? People are too sensitive to certain kind of feeling, but they don't care about the larger responsibility of things, right? Like it's much better, and it sounds harsh, but you have to think about the bigger picture, right? Okay, it's much better on the odd occasion, really the odd occasion, that somebody's hand gets chopped off once in a blue moon, right? Wrongly, which is, as I say, unlikely in many ways, right? Because you do have to provide evidence. It's not like just, I feel like, right? Okay, actually, people provide evidence. It's much better that happens in return for a much safer society, so much better, right? Okay, rather than the other thing you mentioned, the terror of living in an increasingly criminal society, right? Because it's not just that you steal somebody. I remember my house being robbed when I was a kid. I was like, oh my god, somebody came into my house when we were like sleeping or something or whatever it was. You actually feel scared. It's like, oh my, what am I gonna do? Do you know what I mean? It's not just the stealing, right? And it gets people scared of each other, not trusting each other. There's a whole bunch of very gloomy effect on society when nobody trusts anybody. And I want the opposite. I want everybody to trust everybody. I want everybody to smile at everybody. We're all brothers and sisters, all connected. And that only starts when you've got a safer society. So anyway, what are your thoughts about that?
I do agree that it is a big deterrent, and yes, it might reduce it, but there's I think there has to be a limit. There has to be a we need to use our humanity. Theft is a materialistic thing, right? Is it worth someone losing an actual body part over something that's just materialistic, right? I'd understand if it was like something where you've killed somebody and now you can't get that life back, right? But you can always get back materialistic things. That's why I feel like my system, where people work and compensate people, is a much better system than just having loads of people have their arm chopped off. It would still create a better society, and it might not be as big of a deterrent, but I think it would still be an effective deterrent in that it mends the wound. If people are, if you've been stolen, if you had theft, the biggest thing is you've now been economically disadvantaged. But if we now force this person to economically advantage you, in a way, some people might want to get robbed so they can get extra money back in compensation. You never know how it might work, and we have to really we always have to weigh up both sides, because at the end of the day, this thief also has a family, has kids, and I think bringing him back home to his family is a much better thing. It's more heavenly to fix rather than harm. I think when it comes to harming people, it's more of a hellish idea of like punishment's more of a hellish thing. I'm not anti-punishment. I think people should be punished, but I think you need to weigh it up. Like making them fix their wrong through economic means, to me sounds more just than just cutting body parts out, right? And what are we going to do if someone's you know installing cameras in toilets to watch naked women? Are we going to rip his eyeballs out?
There's different punishments for different situations, but yeah, yeah, and I do have to research if there because I know for murder you can actually pay blood money, as it were. So maybe there's something for hand chopping. I'm not sure. I have to check out. But I mean, yeah, you got some good points there about providing some sort of economic, what's the word, compensation and all that kind of stuff. Is cool. Okay, but I was alluding to another point that is part of the package. You can't just have these tough laws without spirituality, right? Okay, so first of all, you have to have your basic needs met, but then there's all these wants, which are never ending wants unless you have the spirituality. Basically, in Islam, you're either spiritual or you're an addict. You're an addict to materialism. Because what it is, there's only one thing that can give you peace, which is God. Okay? Connection with God. And as soon as you try to do anything else, you'll be chasing the whole time. So you'll always be wanting stuff, right? And the reason I'm pointing this out is because what I said in the beginning, the greed thing, right? So you got everything you want because Islam says you got to have all your basics, right? Okay, but then you just want more and more and more. And then, so my point is that we want people to not have their hands chopped off. We want them to succeed in not getting their hands chopped off, right? But if people are addicted to materialism, we're setting them up to fail in some ways, right? So you need the spirituality. We just want this sort of precautionary law that will almost never be used, right? But we want them far away from it. And when you have spirituality, connection, spirituality, because I think that word is so messed up nowadays with these non-religion, no God spirituality things, right? It's basically when you feel that you've got everything you want without the stuff, right? So you're not controlled by greed. Okay, and so and I've been one thing I've been failing on. So basically, that's my sort of thing. You need the inner peace package, as it were, that goes with the hand chopping rule. So it makes the hand chopping rule rare. And I kind of want to finish off with the Holy Quran thing, which is good things are for good people. Because basically, these laws don't work. They can be circumvented. Like, look at governments. They've got all these millions of laws. Don't go and attack some other country, and they go and attack Iraq left, right, and center. You get round. Nobody will follow these laws. None of it will work without the spirituality. You can see in Islam, even though you don't have these um, laws in this country, you have people who have got good family values and spiritual values that just don't steal anyway, right? So it's a whole package, and you need to be a good person for these values to work in the first place. Any thoughts?
I agree with you. I think without God, there is no value because values can change, and we see that now in our society where people are going really cuckoo. Like it's looks like tyranny where men think they're women, women think they're men. There's thousands of different sexes, and we're all going to be forced. And anyone who disagrees gets cancelled and shut down their employment. This is what happens when a society becomes godless. Everything goes, and there is no red lines anymore. That's why we all of us need to go back to God. And I'll be honest, because of my Christian Lebanese background, I used to fear Muslims, especially because all this media stuff. I'll be thinking they're going to attack Lebanon, they're going to take it over. But now I would rather have everyone convert to Islam than become an atheist because Islam still has the values of God. I realized that Muhammad was definitely a prophet inspired by God, but at the same time, like I choose to stay Christian because I believe that Christianity as well is a path to God. The only thing, and I've realized this now more and more with my speaks with you, Khalid, the only thing I realize is Christianity is teaching a lot of things that are wrong, like obviously wrong. Um, and that needs to be addressed. And I hope people like me and other Christians can help reform, let's say, the church and bring it more aligned to reality. And some of those realities being Islam.
Cool. I mean, without getting off script, I mean, not off script, but like off topic too much, is I've been doing videos, I think I've been doing videos about getting Christians to follow the Bible. Like, no Christian follows the Bible because they
Except
listen to.
me.
They listen to Paul. Well, yeah, you and one other Christian in the world, kind of thing, right? I'm talking to all the top Christians in Speaker's Corner, and they literally run. Like literally, they're preaching, and I say, "What part of the Bible do you follow?" Like none of it. Like just follow some of the Bible. Like get your wife to listen to you. That's part of the Bible, right? And pray 3 times a day, fast, all these kind of things. These physical things affect the spirit. Anyway, maybe that's a side issue. I'm not sure. But cool, nice video. Any last thoughts that you wanna add in? Did I miss something?
Save the hands.
Save the hands.
Save the
Okay,
hands.
fine. Save the hands. Save the. Yeah, no, fine. All right.